What is the latest on the situation with Drew Brees?
Well, good morning, Green. I think Sean Payton, the Saints head coach, said an awful lot there. The fact that he said that Drew Brees has a long ways to go, that he's not quite healthy yet, tells you that Taysom Hill is on track to start Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Saints did not want to bring back Brees until he's close to or at 100%. They did not want to bring him back until he's got close to full range of motion. Clearly, listening to Sean Payton there, it doesn't sound like he's close to 100% at this time, and it doesn't sound like he's got full range of motion. And if he doesn't have those two things, then it's going to be hard for them to put him into a spot where they believe he's compromised. And Taysom Hill has played pretty well. Did lose Sunday at Philadelphia, but before then had won 3 straight games. And so it sounds like it's tracking to be Taysom Hill versus Patrick Mahomes in this great late season matchup.
Okay, so let me keep Schefter with us as well as we bring in the rest of our crew this morning and say hello to Dominique Foxworth and Louis Riddick, who are here. And let's just start at the very top, and then I want to work my way through some of the other decisions. But, Louis, is it as simple as this? If the doctors clear Drew Brees, do you have any question about putting him back on the field?
No, Greeny, because the doctors are the professionals, and they're the ones who are in charge of safeguarding Drew's health. And, you know, that's one of those situations where when you're talking about how information flows throughout an organization, when you're talking about player health, it has to be up to the medical staff to determine whether or not it's safe for a player to return to the field. General managers, coaches, they can't make those decisions. They're not doctors. They're not licensed medical professionals. So if they say he can play, you have to trust that when you set up your organization in the first place that they're going to give you the right advice. So if they say he's ready to go, you put him out there. If they say he's not, you don't. It's really that simple. It's black and white to me.
Okay, so that's good. So, Dominique, let me come over to you on that thought then, because they got 3 weeks left in the season. You have a lot to play for. You were making the point this morning. This game and these last 3 games are critically important to the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, they feel like almost playoff games because the Saints need to get that first round bye. It's obviously a quicker path to the Super Bowl for anyone to get a bye, but with an aging quarterback, the fewer games you can play, the more important it is to get that, to secure that situation. So I feel Lewis on that one. I think you want to get Drew out there as quickly as possible, and we understand that Taysom Hill has won several games and has played better, frankly better than I expected him to play, but we also need to understand that they played a team that had a receiver playing quarterback. They also played the Falcons, and then they lost to a team last week whose quarterback was in his first start. So I'm not sure, as many games as they've won, I'm not sure that this team is feeling all that confident about a Taysom Hill-led game into Kansas City.
So there's 2 pieces of this I want to pick up on. Let's pick up on that one first. Schefter, we had a discussion here yesterday. Considering the offense they're going up against this weekend, do you know if there was any thought given, if there has been any thought given inside the organization to going with Jameis Winston this weekend, who, while obviously turnover prone, might give them the opportunity to be more explosive than Hill does?
You're not the first person to ask me that question, Greeny, but I don't believe it's been a conversation that's come up with any frequency or any meaning within the Saints organization. I think they really like Taysom Hill an awful lot, despite the fact that they lost Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think Taysom Hill is going to continue to be the quarterback until Drew Brees comes back, whenever that is. And you mentioned it's critical to win these games down the stretch, but it's more critical to have your 40-plus-something-year-old quarterback fully healthy and ready for the postseason when that begins. And so they're going to give him that time. And when they designate him to return off injury reserve, a lot of times what you see around the league is teams doing this to ramp up the players, to get them acclimated, to get them ready to come back. Not necessarily that first week, like this week for Drew Brees and the Saints, but in the upcoming weeks.
That's fair, and it is a good point. However, on the other side, I would like to give you an illustration of just how important it is to them to get the #1 seed, not because they need the bye, as much as they need not to have to go to Lambeau Field. If you're wondering what Lambeau Field in January is like, I present for you Exhibit A. That was Tom Coughlin's face. So if you think a 41-year-old quarterback needs to be playing in that, coming back from 11 broken ribs and a punctured lung a month from now, I think it is less important to get the bye than it is to make sure that game is not played at Lambeau Field, Schefter.
Greeny, and the Giants won that game. And
Yes.
the Giants won that game. And that was with fans in the stands, which there won't be this year. So there are a lot of differences. Nobody wants to go to Lambeau Field as an opposing team in January. But as we've established before, this is a different team. Tom Coughlin, his cheeks were red, the smoke was coming out of his mouth, everyone froze. Giants won the game. Giants won the game, okay?
They did.
And New Orleans would
Schefter.
love to have a chance to play in the conference championship again, even if it were in Green Bay.
Mike's just going for a joke there. Adam, you got to take everything so seriously. It was pretty funny.
Not only that, I think the Packers would rather play that game in New Orleans. I think with no fans there, I don't think anyone wants to be sitting out there. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.